Hi guys, welcome. If it's your first time here, it is Ball TV, and I'm sure I will see you again. Alright, so today I'm just gonna do a quick storytelling based on one of the kids' books, and I think we reviewed this already, but I'm not so sure. There's a lot of videos to go down in the line, so yeah. And the title of the book is Princess Nora and the Pigeon. Okay, and the book is actually on Amazon as well. It's also bestseller. Okay, all right, so let's get to the story. So once upon a time, in a distant land, lived a princess named Nora. She was not born a princess. However, she was adopted by a lovely and wealthy aunt. Her name was Lady Priya, who lived in a secluded island. Lady Priya's father was King George's younger brother, named Philip. He was very ill. Philip was very ill, and because of that, he could not ascend the throne. King George, on the other hand, did not have any children. Lady Priya did not have any children either until she adopted Nora. Okay. Now, when Nora joined the family, she was crowned a princess, so that, of course, she could ascend the throne. Remember, King George and Lady Priya did not have children, neither did Prince Philip. Okay, and that said, let's get into the real story of how Nora became a princess. Okay, so I'm just gonna jump in a little bit, maybe just not too much into detail because I don't want this video to be long. So the story is Nora lived with his family. They were very happy with her dad and her mom. Her mom was a teacher. She was also a herbalist, and the mom taught her, how to, go together in the, of course, in the forest, in the jungle, to look for different herbs, for different ailments, of course, different sicknesses, and they'll always come up with, different type of herbs to heal people in their villages. Okay, and one day while Nora was in school, their house caught fire. Unfortunately, her mom and her dad, and I'm not sure if it's a sibling also, that did not make it. However, Nora and another sibling survived because, of course, they were not in the house, right? And Nora got adopted by her aunt, and then, of course, her brother was also, I'm not sure if it's a brother or brothers, were also adopted by one of their uncle. And then while Nora was staying with this particular aunt of hers, they decided that, the aunt was going to this distant kingdom, not sure whether it's for visit, for whatever the case may be, and they overheard people talking on the train that Prince Philip was very sick. Okay, backtrack. The character and the names in this story has nothing to do with Prince Philip and George and the Queen Elizabeth family. No, nada. Okay. Anyways, back to the story. All right. So they overheard people saying that Prince Philip is very sick, and they needed to have someone treat him. And rumor has it that whoever treats the prince will be made a princess, right? So word went around the kingdom looking for anyone that can, treat the king of his, rather the prince of his ailment, right? And of course, having heard that, Nora told her aunt, "Hey, aunt, did you hear what people are saying? You know, I think I might treat the king, the prince. I know my mom taught me all type of herbs, so I do know how to mix one or two herbs to treat all kind of ailment. And don't you think this will be really good? So that who knows, maybe if I treat the prince, I will make it to the palace. I could become a princess." And then the aunt is like, "What are you talking about? You know, if you want to treat the prince, that's fine. But who told you that you're going to become a princess? It's gonna be my daughter. We'll have to take my daughter." Because first of all, you need to be grateful. You are staying in my house, you know, ever since your parents died, I'm the one taking care of you, blah, blah, blah. Oh, Nora was so shocked, and she was quiet for a while, and then she's like, "Aunt, well, that's still okay, because I will have a cousin living in the kingdom, in the palace." And then, anyway, so that was it. And then when they got home, and of course the rumors were everywhere. And then Nora's aunt was discussing it with some of her friends, and her friends like, "You know what? If your niece can actually treat the prince, your lives will change forever. Why don't you try it? Everyone has been trying it, so you got nothing to lose." And then, of course, the aunt called Nora and asked Nora that, "You know what? You need to go prepare your herbs so that we can go treat the prince." And Nora's like, "Yeah, absolutely, I can do that. But why don't we first of all go to the palace, because I'll need to see him to understand what ails him, like what kind of sickness he's going through." And then, of course, the aunt is like, "Okay, yeah, let's go to the palace." So they all went to the palace. They spoke to the team there, and they were allowed to, of course, take their turn on treating the prince. So, of course, Nora and her pigeon, that's just her little bird, they went to the jungle now to prepare some herbs. And Nora was just like singing, dancing, you know, collecting different leaves and all that stuff and singing. And then her dove friend, the little bird that she has, the dove told her that, "You know what, if you're preparing this herb, make sure you also come up with a song for it, so that when someone is, you know, administering the herb, they need to sing this particular song to make sure that nobody can actually, you know, steal your idea and, you know, try to make them their own, because at least they won't know your song, and to know that the singing is going to be part of the treatment." And Nora was like, smart, I think I'll do that. So anyway, so Nora came up with a song for the treatment, and then of course they took the herb to the palace. And then Nora was able to administer, and the prince started feeling better. And then of course, Lady Priya came and started talking to Nora's aunt. It's like, "Wow, my niece is getting better, so who treated him?" And the auntie said, "Oh, it's my daughter. It's my daughter that treated." And then it's like, "Are you sure?" Because we were hearing that Nora was saying, like, no. Nora is our maid. Nora is our maid. She's just a filthy rag, wearing filthy rag, and she's somewhere, I don't know where, very smelly little kid. So yeah, she could not have known how to, you know, prepare this herb. So it's my daughter that did it." And Lady Prayer's like, "Wow, that's amazing. Your daughter is so talented." Anyways, I'm kind of summarizing the story. If you read in the book, actually, it's written a little bit different. Anyways, back to the story. And yeah, and Lady Prayer's like, "So you guys need to prepare. You need to come to the palace, because obviously your daughter is doing an amazing job. My niece is getting better. So we need like to start preparing for an engagement and all that stuff." And Lady Prayer's like, "Oh my gosh, you're so happy." And then of course when Lady Prayer left, and she called her daughters, and Nora was also there, and he told Nora, "Wow, you see what you did? Now your cousin is going to be moving to the palace. Your cousin is going to become a princess, and now you're going to, don't worry, you will also live in the palace, because she's going to need a maid. She's going to need someone to do her laundry, to do the cooking and all that stuff." Anyways, guys, I'll continue with the next part of the story. I don't want this video to be so long. And again, see you in the next video. Take care.